instructions in the manual say to grind 2 cups of the grains through the mill and discard, because that will help make sure that if there's any residual contaminants in the system from being put together, those will filter out through the system. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'll come back and run my first flour. Okay. Also, per the instructions, you have to turn it on. Okay. As you can see, that was pretty quick. And at the end, you could hear the difference in the noise once it was finished with the milling process. So I'm going to open this up and see what we have. Okay, I ran my first initial flour through the WonderMill just to get rid of any contaminants from when the system was built, being manufactured. Sorry for all that jumping around. Okay, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to get ready to grind up about 2.5 cups, maybe close to 3 cups of the Einkorn berries. And you can see they kind of look like rice, but they're not. And these are organic ancient grains. So I'm going to turn it on, because you always have to turn the system on first before you put your grains in. And just that quick, guys, I read the instructions, and it told me, you know, to move this around and kind of get a feel for, you know, the different sounds. And I forgot to put it back on bread at the beginning, but I did turn it on to bread. So hopefully we'll see how this works out. I'm just trying to get a starter right now, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna get us 1/2 cup of this flour. Shake it off. I'm gonna put it into the sifter, sift it up. I'm just gonna put a bunch in here and then measure out a cup. Put this in here. And I'm going to get 1/2 cup. And put it into my jar. And I'm going to get 1/2 cup of water. And this is filtered water. 1/2 cup. I'm going to pour it into the jar. Okay, I've got a 1/2 cup of the flour and a 1/2 cup of filtered water. The next thing I'm going to add is one heaping tablespoon of honey. And this is local honey. And it is raw honey. Get all that goodness in there. I'm just going to stir this up and get all of that water and honey and einkorn flour stirred up. I made a mess. That's okay. All right, now I'm going to cover this. Oh. I'm going to cover this up. We're going to start our 5 to 7 day process that I showed you how to do on my last starter recipe video, and I'll link that in the description below. And I'll put this recipe, even though it's very simple, 1/2 cup of the einkorn flour and 1/2 cup filtered water and 1 heaping tablespoon of honey. And we're going to just hope that in 5 to 7 days that we capture some of that wild yeast. And hopefully very soon we'll have some homemade bread. Now, I don't have some of my fabric squares, so I'm just going to put this coffee filter over the top and secure it with a rubber band. And of course, that's just to make sure that nothing gets in there, a fly. And you would think that this time of year there wouldn't be any flies or gnats or any kind of things like that, but we've had some warm weather the last few days, and it doesn't take very many warm days before you start seeing a few flies. So anyway, we've got this started, and I've got plenty of flour to keep up with adding the feed for the starter as the days go by. good. Not real high, but my starter is still young. So we shall see. It tastes like in about 30 minutes. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this. Look at that. Yeah, I think it's spread out in that bigger pot. So I'm going to have to find a smaller pot, but look at that. It's bread. It's sourdough bread. I wish I had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. Look at that. Oh, wow. Sorry, y'all. Okay, here is my bread and my olive oil, butter, and garlic. I cannot wait to let you guys in on how good this is. And this has been like a month in the making, because I made my starter I actually milled the grain and used the flour and honey and water to get my starter going, and it finally started having some bubbles, and I made bread. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I can't even tell y'all. It's been like 10 years since I had this. You know, when you go out to restaurants and they bring the bread and everybody eats it, and I just sit there and I don't eat any bread. Well, I'll be taking my own bread from now on. Y'all, that is so good. So good.